Am I the butthole for being the one to pay for my niece's tummy tuck after years of her parents telling her no? Jenny went through a trauma as a kid and ended up becoming an emotional eater, obese, held back a grade, socially stunted, etc. Her parents, with a lot of pushing, put her into therapy, and she was able to heal from the trauma, and then gain control of her eating. Because they waited so long to take the problem seriously, after she lost the weight her skin didn't bounce back, and she was left with a saggy belly and protruding abdomen. She had a double roll belly where there's a roll above and below the navel, and the bottom one tends to stick out in clothing. Before the body image brigade rains down on me, this is not just the fat that naturally gathers there for a lot of women. This is overhanging fat that is almost always visible in clothes. Nothing she did would fix it. Her parents are very much anti-plastic surgery, and given that she was a teenager, I totally get it. But she was miserable in her body. Jenny stays with me during the summers because I live near a beach and love spending time with her. Over the years she would cry to me about how much she hated her stomach and how she just wishes she could look normal and her parents would just let her get a tummy tuck. Last year I decided that I would give her the tummy tuck for her 18th birthday as long as she cleared it with her counselor. The counselor agreed that this was something that would truly help. She had it done late in the summer, healed while staying with me, and then went to college. I can't tell you how different she was. Confident, happy, she finally wore clothes that didn't hide her body, the whole 9 yards. She even asked out someone at the beach. She came home for spring break and finally wore something that made her mom take notice, and I'm guessing mom saw the scar. She hit the roof and started yelling at Jenny for what she did, asking her if she really spent her college money on something this frivolous, etc. etc. Jenny came crying to me about it and I knew I couldn't let her mom blame her, so I fessed up. I'm blacklisted. My sister basically thinks I'm Satan, warping her kid's self-esteem and self-image, that I should have told her to learn to love her body instead of giving into diet culture. Jenny is happier than she's ever been. She's healthier. Furthermore, she was 18, and this is something she has wanted since she was 15 years old. It didn't lead to her wanting more surgeries, it led to her sobbing happy tears after she tried on a curve-fitting dress for the first time. I don't see how what I did was wrong. At all. At the same time, I know she's not my kid. We went behind my sister's back. Plastic surgery is a big deal. So I don't know. Not the butthole. The counselor cleared it, the one the mom pushed her to see, a professional they had to push the mom to let the daughter see. I misread initially, she is 18 and you paid for it, not her mother. She has no say on what her daughter can and can't do and has no right to blacklist you. Your niece is an adult and doesn't need her mom to sign off on medical procedures, not to mention it sounded like the procedure went well. You didn't go behind your sister's back, you helped your niece with something her mother refused to help with, a problem that the mom seems to have contributed to making. Your niece turned to you for a reason, she trusts you and feels comfortable to vent to you emotionally, knowing she will have your full support. Don't feel bad for support someone's choices that help them mentally and physically. Good on your original poster. I wholeheartedly second this. You did everything above board. Your sister is the one who is the butthole for blacklisting you. Sister sounds like a huge and being on her blacklist is probably a gift in itself. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. I will be using sometimes the trash takes itself out comment in the future. I've lost and gained 100 pounds many times over, eating disorder. I know exactly the sort of stomach protuberance you are talking about. I was fortunate and during my active illness my skin happened to be elastic enough to sidestep this issue, but it is hugely prevalent in the weight loss community. In a nutshell, you changed your niece's life and made it a million times better and easier. Full stop. Plus, this wasn't even fixing a cosmetic imperfection. Those folds can be very painful, they breed bacteria like a mother effer because it stays moist from sweat, and can give you crap like yeast infections. So it was a physical health issue on top of creating a mental health issue. I hadn't thought of this, but it's a good point, though even if it was purely cosmetic, that is always up to the person who lives in that body. It reminds me of a poster I saw once in the loos of my university's student union building. It was an ad for specialist treatment of acne. In Australia, rules for advertising prescription medication are very strict, so even though it didn't say Roaccutane, let's just go with it was probably an ad for Roaccutane. Someone had written graffiti on it. Look, the graffiti in those loos was always entertaining and educational, a diatribe on how dermatologists of pharmaceutical companies get paid to make you feel bad about your appearance, and this poster was predatory. And all I could think was, mate, if you think that's just cosmetic, first of all, mind your own business. Second of all, I bet you've never had cystic acne. It is so bloody painful. Like, there's all this advice to not pop zits, but if there was an opportunity, I usually did. Washed face thoroughly afterwards, because the pressure was so painful, and releasing it helped. And yes, it was gross, but at least then I could think past the throbbing infected pore on my face, or in my nose, or my ear, or on my back right between the muscles. I've grown past it now, plus 2 courses of the aforementioned drug helped a lot. Still get the occasional invading pustule, but it's not common outside of your period cometh times. Like people who take hormonal BC to treat a variety of hormonal imbalances and severe menstrual pain and PCOS and endometriosis and all sorts of things. Yes, it's also a contraceptive, and that use is free and clear and not a valid cause for judgment ever, but also life-changing medication for many people. To come back around, if original poster's niece needed it only for cosmetic reasons, that is her choice and entirely fair, and it has nothing to do with the hateful, god-awful diet industry. The diet industry is not, as far as I'm aware, shaming people about their skin folds. They shame about many things, but not that. But also, just as you noted, there are other drawbacks to having those extra folds, and they are potentially nasty. Skin flora infecting your body through a pore or ingrown hair is vile. I have had many abscesses in my time. Original poster is not the butthole, and also a lovely supportive figure who deserves praise, not censure. I read it as original poster was saying that the parents had to be pushed to finally get a counselor for their daughter. Not that the parents had to convince the daughter to go to therapy. It sounds like they're negligent buttholes who sat by while their child developed obesity severe enough to cause major, permanent changes to the structure of her body. A child, who has limited control over the food they have access to, doesn't just become obese overnight, so at best they enabled her, ignored the problem, and denied her proper medical management. It also seems they're trying to control and emotionally manipulate her into conforming to their body standards, when she is an adult. Also, Op's sister blacklisting original poster for doing this is going to blow up in her face with the daughter big time. Yep, probably already has. The mom probably just blacklisted herself unintentionally. This 1000%. Not the butthole. She's 18, she's not a kid, you cleared it with her counselor. She is lucky to have you in her life. I'm going to guess her parents were also part of her problems growing up, sadly. Original poster replies. Unfortunately, yes, her parents played a very unfortunate role in her trauma. Unfortunately, yes, her parents played a very unfortunate role in her trauma. Why does this not surprise me? Not the butthole. You did the right thing, heart. Your niece is lucky to have you as her advocate. I kind of got that vibe but didn't want to say anything. This is a power play on their part. They are trying to exercise control over their daughter's body while keeping her in a weaker state of mind for whatever reason. My heart truly breaks for your niece. I've seen this happens before. I know it sounds bad, but it seems like they never wanted something better for her, they never wanted her mental health improved. Some problems are not just about self-esteem or the way you see yourself, some of them can only be solved with this type of intervention. And there is nothing wrong with it, I just hate the all-natural mindset when what original poster did change this girl's life for the better. I've seen recently a post about a bride and the mother-in-law that said she was indecent for getting a plastic surgery for some scars. I'm so glad you helped her, original poster. I'm sure you just changed her life. Don't let her parents make you feel like you did something wrong because you didn't. Not wanting to give in to diet culture is a good mindset. Diet culture greatly encourages disordered eating, a mental illness that kills thousands upon thousands a year. But this wasn't about preventing body image issues in their child, she already had them. They didn't care that she was hurt, because this was their final grasp at power over their soon-to-be adult daughter, at the time, of course. They knew they had no other power over her, so this is where they took it. Original poster, you did the right thing. Thank you for listening to her. I suspect your sister is very angry that niece no longer has a visible reminder of her trauma and will be able to move on with her life. It sounds like she worked for years to make sure that your niece would always feel hurt, stunted, and insecure, and she's pissed you erased all her efforts at once. You're a very good person and I hope you and niece can stay in touch. Seems like sister used this as a way to control her daughter. She is mad because aunt gave daughter confidence and power back. That excess skin was probably a literal daily reminder of her trauma. Not to mention the obvious insecurities it would cause almost anyone. In my opinion, you didn't just pay for a surgery, you genuinely helped her recover from the effects of her trauma. Honestly, that's probably why her parents are mad. You did good original poster. Honest, genuine, good. I hope to be as supportive and reliable to my nibbling as you were to yours. Not the butthole. Not the butthole. Extra skin from substantial weight loss really can't be dealt with outside of surgery. You did the right thing. Agreed. Plus there are health issues with having excess skin like that, so her surgery was not entirely cosmetic. It also tends to lead to gaining weight back. It's hard for people to keep up the work and self-discipline needed to stay healthy when they know they're going to hate their bodies just as much anyways, and always be reminded of the weight. When you don't even get the reward of feeling good about how you look, or even feel worse, also denying yourself food you enjoy doesn't seem worth it. I lost over 150 pounds, can confirm. Seeing the extra skin makes me feel like I'll never be normal and nothing ever fits. I can't even wear a normal swimsuit because bottoms don't fit me. High-waisted ones don't fit me either. I have gained about 30 pounds back and trying to shake it, so I can get a belt lipectomy, but it's hard to look in the mirror and feel so uncomfortable. Weight loss is so effing hard, and you lost 150 pounds. Don't get down on yourself. And any times the skin gets medically donated like any other organ. On top of it being uncomfortable. That's a whole bunch of extra skin that can easily get heat rashes and chafing. Not the butthole. The counselor agreed that this was something that would truly help. Case closed. Came here to say that. 18 and therapist approved? Nothing else to be said. Not the butthole. Jenny is 18. Her parents have no empathy or understanding of the emotions surrounding extra skin from serious weight loss. Her parents also sound like massively uncaring prolapsed buttholes. Have you ever encountered a caring prolapsed butthole? Avoid. The endless weeping isn't pretty. This just took me out. My friend, not the butthole at all. As someone who lost 100 pounds and now has the saggy belly, this is going to be amazingly life-changing for her physically and emotionally. Depending on where you live, the removal might be covered. I know where I am, Ontario. If you lose over 100 pounds and keep it off for a year, our health insurance will cover the removal because it's a medical issue at that point. Edit. Forgot healthcare specialities was provincial, changed Canada to Ontario. Absolutely not the butthole. She's 18, and she gets to decide what she wants for her body. You did something genuinely kind, and it sounds like you approached it in a really responsible and thoughtful way as well. It sucks her parents are so doctrinaire about this, but that's their thing to manage. Not the butthole. Her parents, with a lot of pushing, put her into therapy. Sounds like Jenny's parents haven't put their daughter's well-being first for a very long time. Her parents are very much anti-plastic surgery. But she was miserable in her body. Jenny was miserable for years. Original poster, you listened to your niece. It sounds like her parents put their ideals in front of their child's needs. The counselor agreed that this was something that would truly help. If her counselor, the one Jenny's parents had to be forced to send their daughter to, rubber stamp this, then that should be the end of that. I'm blacklisted. My sister basically thinks I'm Satan, warping her kid's self-esteem and self-image, that I should have told her to learn to love her body instead of giving into diet culture. What does diet culture have anything to do with this? Furthermore, why is it that your sister's reaction to her child's confidence is to attack it? Your sister sounds toxic. Original poster, you've been a wonderful aunt and have helped save your niece's mental health. Keep the room at your place open for her, Jenny may figure out she's better off living with you. Because frankly, she is. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.